Hello everyone, today I'm going to show MetaReForge 1.1 beta with stable release of Blender 4.1. This is not a well-polished tutorial. A full workflow will come a bit later because I still want to make some minor tweaks. Beta version of the add-on is available for everyone who purchased previous version and will be available after release without any additional fees. But for new users, it will be a bit more expensive. So let's get started. I will clear the scene. Go to MetaReForge tab. The first thing to do is to set up scene. Then we can import Metahuman. And there are two options to choose from: build head from DNA file or import head from FBX file. Building head from DNA is preferred way because anyway we will need DNA for bone adjustments. So I will set DNA file. I will set FBX body file and hit import. Now we can switch between LODs. On the View tab, we can switch between LODs. These objects will be exported to Unreal Engine at the end. But for editing, we need to initialize auxiliary objects. In terms of MetaReForge, they are called Edit Meshes and Edit Armature. So on the Edit tab, we have a few options. Keep Shape Case option now is much more relevant because we can edit corrective morph targets. So I will enable this option. Also, we optionally can convert triangles to quads. The head that comes from DNA file already in quads, but body consists of triangles. So this option, trees to quads, will convert body triangles to quads for editable objects. So in this way, it will be much easier to edit, to select loops. So I hit initialize. So now edit objects are created. We have edit armature. It is merged armature, which contains both body and head bones. And also we have an editable object for each body part. We have editable object for skin, for eyeshells, etc. Here on this tab we can choose any part. So we can choose skin and select this mesh. Also we can find skin edit object and we can select it. So here, teeth object and so on. What's important here, for each editable object, editable item, we have basis item or initial item and final item. So it is just for internal use. So we don't need to edit basis objects manually. All operation with this initial object will be operated automatically by MetaReForge. And we will operate with final objects. We will edit final object and then transfer deformation from these final objects to LODs for further export to Unreal Engine. And to properly transfer deformation, each edit item has edit ID, and each LOD part also has edit ID. So these edit IDs are necessary to properly transfer deformation. So deformation from edit mesh with edit ID skin will be transferred to LOD part with edit ID skin. So these edit IDs are filled automatically without additional actions. But if you add extra parts, it may be necessary to know how it works. So now let's edit mesh. I will go to Sculpt mode and try to do something interesting with this mesh. Now you may see that we edited only skin mesh, but all other meshes are not fit to the main mesh. So they are somewhere here. So eyes somewhere here, eyelashes somewhere here, and teeth are also does not align with the skin mesh. So we need to align a few meshes manually, and a few of them will be aligned automatically. So first of all, we need to align eyes. So I will select eye left. I will try to align the eye right. Now we need to scale them to properly. Here it is. Now we can fix all these intersections, all these overlapping things, changing skin. I'll come back to sculpt mode and I will try to make it better. I will try to fix now it is much better. So regarding other related meshes. For example, for Eyeshells, we have automatic method. Here's on this tab, when we select Eyeshell, now the Eyeshells are here, so they are not aligned with the main mesh. We can transfer shape. Here we need to specify edit ID from skin. Hit the button, and we can transfer deformation. And for Eyeshells, usually it's the best option to check this option, use Laplace and deform. In this case, the shape of the Eyeshells after transfer will be smoother. Click transfer. See? The same thing about eyelashes. We can also select eyelashes and transfer shape from the skin. So in this way, the eyelashes will be attached to the same place. Here, hit transfer, and the eyelashes in the right place. And regarding the remaining shapes, regarding eye edges, we can also transfer shape, but Laplace and deform is not required anymore. Transfer eye edges, and at the moment eye edges are in the correct place, and cartilage also now is here, but we can also transfer deformation to this additional cartilage mesh. Now we need to place teeth in the correct place. So I will select teeth. They are here. We need to move them. Move them to the correct place. And saliva, so here we can transfer deformation from teeth to saliva. Now they are at the same place. Now I will select everything and apply transformation, because I moved eyes. So I will apply transformation. And now we need to transfer bones. To transfer bones, we need to select final armature. As you see, the bones do not align to the mesh. So we can go to edit mode, select proper configuration. Now I'm testing this yesterday configuration and hit auto. Now we can test animations of the Metahuman. So I go to MetaReForge controls, initialize rig logic, and here I have a good tab with all necessary controls, and now I can test the control rig. In pose mode, I can take a look how it works with mouth, if something is not okay, I can take a step back and edit meshes, adjust meshes. For example, here, I can revise intersection between I can see overlapping here between teeth and skin and lip. And I can edit teeth mesh. I can move it a bit. Can scale it also. And after that, I will need to do feet bones again. And test how it works. I will disable armature, so now we can take a look at the mesh better. So now it looks like everything works here. We can test eyes. It's a common problem even for default metahumans that Eyeshells overlaps with eyeballs. So we can test here. And now we see that one of the eyeball overlaps with eyelid, so we can push one eyeball a bit deeper. So let me, it's the left eye. We can push it a bit deeper. Then refit bones again. And test eye rotation one more time. Now it's still some problem here. Maybe we need to either push eye a bit deeper or move eyelid a bit further. I'll go back. So now it is much better. And only in this place we have small problem. So we can fix this even without symmetry. We can fix this place here. So obviously you can make it more accurate. I just make some extreme deformation just for testing. So it's not about quality, it's just for testing at the moment. But if you spend more time on the shapes, you can achieve much better results. You can test other animations, other controls. Also, if you think that corrective shape case doesn't work as you expect them to work, you can make some changes to the corrective shape case. I will clear all pose. So now it is 0 deformation. And for example, I will rise this brow. For example, I don't like how this corrective shape key works. I can refresh non-zero shape keys list to reveal all non-zero shape keys. And I can edit shape keys in edit mode or in sculpt mode. And as soon as I click here, I will enter preconfigured mode for editing specific shape key. So I click on sculpt mode, and now I see that this shape key is active. So now I can edit this shape key, I can add some extra deformation or vice versa, I can remove some deformation. For example, I want here to have extra deformation with rising the eyebrow. So now I can test this deformation. I will rise this brow. Now we see that this deformation is added. We can test how it works together and add extra deformation to another shape key, to this shape key. Also enter edit mode, and I can add some extra things to this. And test how it works. So now it works. And test how they work together. And Metahumans contains corrective shape case that works only when a few controls are involved. So the 2 controls are active, and we have 3 shape keys. Here's 1 shape key for 1 control, another shape key for another control, and 1 extra shape key that works only when 2 of them are active. Let me show you. So as you see, one shape key one of these shape keys, and actually it is this shape key, works with both. So when I change this one, so this shape key works only when 2 of them are applied, and we can also fix this deformation if something is not okay when a combination of shape keys works. We can also do some fix here. Again, I do just this extreme deformation just for testing you may corrective shape keys are necessary to correct a deformation, not just to so let me show it again. When I raise only one thing, only one sliders, only one shape key is changed. When I raise another control, another shape key is changed. But when I drag two controls, we have some additional shape key that also involved in the process. So this way you can edit shape keys to make correction better. It is not a very easy process. So as soon as you edited shape keys, you need to transfer these shape keys to LODs. And to make sure that these shape keys will be transferred to LODs, you need to check them on the edit shapes, on the update original, and here only listed shape keys here will be transferred. Not all shape keys will be transferred. So you need to mention all shape keys that you want to transfer, that you updated in this list. And on this Face Controls tab, we have a shortcut for that. We can click on this check mark and all of these shape keys will be added to the shape key synchronization list. So only these shape keys will be transferred from the edit meshes to LODs. And here you can set maximal LOD to which the shape keys will be transferred. So default MetaHuman shape keys work only with LOD 0, only with the lowest LOD. So now in Blender we have edit mesh which works as we expect. So we tested controls and it works as we expect. We have corrective shape keys that work as we expect. And we have a list of shape keys that we want to transfer, that we want to see in Unreal Engine. So now we need to synchronize LODs with the edit mesh. So if I will take a look at LOD, LOD is still the same as it was before. So I need to go to Update Original tab, make sure that all shape keys I want to transfer are checked. I need to make sure that all body parts and clothes are checked also, and click Synchronize. So now all LODs are synchronized and we have even the highest LOD has similar shape. So LODs are synchronized and we can recompute split normals, because if you will check without outline, if you will check, we have visible seams between body and head, and also here we have some artifacts due to editing, so we need to recompute split normals. And now all normals are okay, so there are no seam between head and body, and normals on the face looks much better than it was before. So, and one thing I haven't mentioned is that in MetaReForge 1.1 we can also transfer deformations to clothed objects. So at the clothed object tab we can specify path to any clothed part. For example, I will set path to, I have top here and hit import. Now I have imported clothes here. Here's a collection, FBX clothes, and we have a collection for a specific cloth item. We can add another item. I just need to specify another path. Select path and hit import. So I have another LODs of this cloth item. So we have a t-shirt and trousers. And we can synchronize these cloth items as well as body. So we need to go to Update Original tab. And now because all other things are already synchronized, I can disable head and body because we already synchronized head and body. So they already looks nice. And I can hit synchronize to synchronize only clothes. Now, as you see, clothes are also looks better, and they fit to our character. Obviously, we can have some artifacts. Sometimes we can get overlapping faces here, but in any case, it is a very good starting point for editing. So now let's go to the last actions, the very last actions. We need to export everything as FBX to reimport in Unreal Engine. So I can set path to any folder. So select path. Now we need to choose what we want to export, head, body, clothes, or all of them at the same time. So I will hit export FBX, and it will export everything. It will export head, body LODs, and clothes. And for all of them, we have a separate LOD FBX. Here's LODs for face, for body, and for clothes. And the very last thing we will need in Unreal Engine to fix facial expressions is modified DNA file. So I will modify DNA file. So it will take the DNA file from the import section and create another one modified in the export folder. So now Blender part is over and we can go to Unreal Engine. Here is my base character from Unreal Engine. So we need to reimport head mesh, we need to reimport body mesh. So I go to body. I will navigate to the asset and create a duplicate. It's very good practice to have a duplicate. So here's a duplicated body. So to reimport even if you try to reimport with new file, it will not work because path is not specified. So here on the import settings, we have property source file, and we need to set the file to our LOD0. And make sure that all transforms are zeros except import uniform scale. Save and reimport base mesh. This should be the same material. Done. So, and as you see, the mesh is changed. Now we can do the same with further LODs. I go to LOD picker, pick LOD1, go to LOD and reimport with new file. And so on. We can continue with all further LODs. Let's go to blueprint and replace body here to our new body. This is goblin body. Now we need to update head. Go to face. Navigate to the skeletal mesh asset. Also duplicate it. We also need to reimport, so we need to set the path to the lowest LOD. Here's where the import settings. Here's import settings. We need to set file path to the lowest LOD. Here's face LOD0. We also need to make sure that transforms are all zeros, but for face default rotation is -90 degrees. So now it's 0, and we can save the asset and reimport base mesh. Reimport for face takes much longer because it has a lot of morph targets. As you may see, it is not what we expected, and it is because DNA file is still the same as it was initially. So we need to update DNA file. So we can just drag and drop DNA file somewhere to the content browser, or we can right click on the mesh, Metahuman DNA, import new DNA file, select new DNA file, and now for some reasons we need to make sure that we update right skeletal mesh, because here's the initial skeletal mesh. So we need to find goblin face and update DNA file for that mesh. Import and disable and enable post-process MMPP, and now it works. We can preview animations. Here. Let me check it. Here's preview animations and default. And now it is not perfect, for sure. We can spend more time in editor, in Blender. And here's the corrective animations. Here's how corrective animations works. for the left eyebrow. So we definitely can work more with eyelids. So let's replace the initial head in the blueprint. Now we need to rebind groom asset, but often when the mesh is changed too much, rebinding doesn't work, so you need to create new groom assets. But let me try to rebind hair and other grooms. Create new binding. Bind to goblin face, and as a source skeletal mesh, we will use the Atora face mesh and create new binding. Now we need to set this binding in the Metahuman blueprint. So I will click here to assign this new groom binding, and it looks like it works, but it's not perfect, and very often rebinding doesn't work as expected. So let's test animation. Let's replace default Tarot with this new.
I have 8 levels of detail and have been tested on a wide range of hardware platforms, from feature film to mobile. If you're interested in learning about my animation rig or high-fidelity deformations, built on Control Rig, the new strand-based hair system via the Groom component, or how everything is tied together and animated in Sequencer, then have a look under the hood in this project. This is just a glimpse of things to come.